Hi, today is October 17th, 2021. It was such a nice day. Temperature maybe is about 70 degrees, 75 degrees. And there's no clouds in the sky. It's all blue sky. So I came to this trail again to go to Stanley Lake. And it takes about 2.5 hours walking. But I really felt like I should walk because of this such nice weather. And thinking of human evolutions and human as a bipedal animals, I would say on this earth, I would think about history of the earth, uh, cosmology, universe, all these things. And but more than that, I would like to see the trees. This is like a weeping trees, weeping willow trees. When I tried to identify the weeping willow, I think it's coming from China or someplace like that. And there's a tremendously big weeping willow. It's not that common to see the weeping willow here, but once in a while you see the established weeping willow here, and yeah, it's when you look at it, it's magnificent and it's beautiful. But I I found it's a willow identification. It's very, very difficult. I could tell the willow tree from other tree, salix is a willow tree, a genus name. But other than that, I cannot identify what exactly it is. So, well, just come along with me and just enjoy the walk along this nature trail to the lake. And it's a full color mostly, and very, I would say quiet because this particular nature trail, lots of bicyclists comes in and some hikers, but not so many hikers. This is apple tree, a crab apple tree, and I try to eat this, and it's not that good to eat. It's very hard and it's kind of juicy, but it's hard and it's not palatable, I would say. And I tried it, and yeah, it's irresistible, right? If you see this plump crab apple tree, you want to put it in your mouth. But yeah, uh, I enjoyed it, but no, it's not. It's not like you can eat whole apple here. Apple is not that common, but you can see in a nature trail like this, it's growing. This is a honey locust. You can see the pod, a seed pod already hanging, like a twisted seed pod. And honey locust is also common. This is, I would say, cottonwood. And the cottonwood is like a popular genus. And I think it also, the aspen is a popular genus. And among them, popular kind, uh, it's kind of difficult to identify. So I would just leave it at there. The cottonwoods, beautifully shaped along the riverside, a stream. And this is, I think, the silver maple. And as the maple also see once in a while, but I think maple, especially this silver maple, I think it came from like a cultivation somewhere in the seed pod. dropped here and they start to grow. Along this creek, lots of ash tree and the poplar tree, including the cottonwoods are growing. And this, I like to identify what it is, but yeah, gosh, too late for me to identify this. Now I'm not going to try. This is another willow tree, very common here along the river bank here. And it's beautiful to look at it. And it's upright and leaves are slender. And, reverse side is, I think, it's the grayish green. And so it should be easy to identify, but, I wouldn't try that. And besides it, I think that's the, I'm not sure, the small growth of, I think, Russian olive or maybe. And this is also the weed trees, very common weed tree, Siberian elms. Okay, this is still the willow tree here, and Siberian elms growing underneath this willow canopy. And you can see this is Siberian because the leaves are small, and it's invading species compared to the American elm tree, which is a bigger leaves. And this is the sumac, of course. Coloration is beautiful. And yeah, this is elm tree. And lots of sumac growing here, seed pod and everything, telltale sign of a sumac. Yeah, this is one of the trees that changes the color to the red. Mostly yellow here, changing colors, but sumac is kind of a vivid red. It's kind of nice to walk around. This is another willow tree. I walk around this area during the fall because of the changing colors. And apparently at August 16th, this is showing you the reverse side of this particular willow tree. It's like a silvery gray. And it's the willow tree is not changing the colors yet. And so around this Colorado Plains, still as of middle of October, the green color still existing, and more or less, I think just about our neighborhood, I think all the ash trees start to change the color, maple trees start to change the color, but some of them I think a little bit late to change the color. This is, I think, already finished. I think it's a telltale sign of an ash tree. I think the green ash, I think. The small young trees. And but its old leaves all came down. Those seed pods remain there. And also I noticed that this stream here, the water is somewhat not abundant. It's like a stagnated water. And because I think we don't have much rain lately, I think this looks like a ash tree, I think. Yeah. And this is like a maple trees. And this is again, this is a willow trees, I would say, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it is a willow trees. This is a honey locust tree that you can see the twisted seed pod hanging on, and this one have a like a spectacular yellow color to it right now, and it's very nice to see that yellow color, and also as well the seed pod. And this is the Russian olive, I think. Yeah, so the seeds are forming. This is coming from Russia, also the invading weed tree, but when it's riparian area established very quickly, and it's as a tree, it's a very beautiful color, the gray green leaves and nice graceful leaves, twig structure, very nice. I like it. Now, I used to control this particular trees at extension. I was working at the extension office and yeah, trying to control this Russian olive, but I don't know how successful is it. Okay, so now we are coming to the end of the hike, going to the lake. You can see the river bank, I mean the lake bank beyond there. This lake bank you cannot climb up because that's prohibited. So you have to go to the left all the way, and another a mile or so you have to walk and to see the lake there. Um, but I think this is very nice area to hike. Not so many people around. When you go to the lake, you see more people around the lake. But this particular trail, you have access by bike. But after a while, this particular paved bike trail become a gravel. People still walking there, biking there, but this is the old finished rabbit brush. This is a bigger kind, tall kind rabbit brush, already finished, and it's very beautiful against the this glaring sun with no clouds in the sky, and all the flower head become like a cottony, or the seed head exploding right now, and so it's very typical of this area's landscape. The rabbit brush. I love this now. Rabbit brush is beautiful specimen flowers. Apparently, the ditch beyond is created because of the preventing the flood, and but I think the water level is very low, and so there's not much water I could tell. But it's kind of nice to walk around this area, just because not so many people here. and you escape from the people walking along, you know, thinking of your life and whatever. Very very meditative here, and so I liked it here. Unfortunately, from my place, this is about 2.5 years hike, 2.5 hours hike, and it's not that casual hike. But this is only second time this year to walk to the lake. Uh, Once was summertime; it's completely different landscape, and now it's a fall, and it's completely different atmosphere. I love it 4 times hiking because of the nature of this, you know, finished colors of vegetation. And you think about the death of the plant as well as the coming up spring. And this is finally I arrived at Great Lake, and this is a beautiful lake, and I think the city, the Westminster, Nevada, are not enthusiastic about making this area as a park or as a recreational area, even though there's a trails there and there's a signs of trails and everything. But I think it's kind of difficult to get access to it. The north end, like you can see over there, has a parking area and access to the camping. But the south area here, there is no such thing, and the parking is very very limited away from the lake, and access to the lake is only walking and bicycling and so forth. So I don't see many people enjoying the picnics or anything. Although there is one or two picnic tables around, but usually I don't see many people picnicking. Um, in this particular lake, as you can see, the water is receded tremendously, so water level is much lower. And when I came to this lake this summer, it was much higher, and there's a cliff along this lake, and it looks the water is very very close to the cliff. So now I'm getting to the beach because water receded. You can see more the beach type of environments here, and you can see the sand, like a whitish sand is there, and beyond you can see the Rocky Mountains, Long's Peak, and very white snow-capped mountains are long way from here. Uh, Snow fell already, and the water is crystal clear, very beautiful, and because of there's no fishing or no water sports type of things allowed here, I don't think. And so there's nobody's around. And I think that's a good thing because as a nature lovers, I don't want people to congregate here and doing lots of playing games and stuff, playing, floating devices and so forth. I don't like that. So it's kind of nice to come here. And I think the city trying to do that themselves, I think, especially the people who live around this area, very, ritzy people don't want people to come here that much. So it's nice. Yeah, I walked like 2.5 hours now today, and I think about, yeah, people are bipedal animals on this earth, precious earth. And yeah, I think about that tremendously. My uh, grandchild is just about standing up. This particular girl is standing up, less than a year old, standing up, and but she couldn't walk yet. She was crawling. So I think about that, bipedal nature. Yeah, it's interesting and very unique on this earth. And hands, because they're not used, atrophied, like a small compared to the legs. Legs is tremendously, big. And yeah, I see this particular vegetation growing a little bit. I think that's where I see the water this summer. But now it's all receded. And so when I came to summer, there is no way that I could come down here on the beach. But now it's easy. Okay, so this is a Stanley Lake hike on October 17th, 2021. Thank you.